Welcome to Own a Spot Live. Steph and Ayesha Curry are in the news for opposing affordable housing being brought to their neighborhood. I'll share the details of the story and we'll take a look at their multi-million-dollar home. Yes, I have photos that is at the center of all of this. But first, just a friendly reminder, this is a new channel, guys. Go ahead and subscribe. We're on the climb and we'd love to have you come along for the ride. Back to the Currys. Steph, Ayesha, married, cute, make cute babies, rich, actually ultra rich. Steph is the highest paid player in the NBA and the fifth highest paid athlete in the world. The entire world has a 40 plus $1 million contract for the season and an estimated net worth of about $106 million, according to Forbes. Now they're rich, but they give back. This is the Currys pictured at an Oakland area elementary school out at a volunteer event that I believe they coordinated and funded. Shout out to them for that. In December of 2020, they purchased this home in Silicon Valley, which is the San Francisco area. It's a suburb of San Francisco. It's in a gated community of Atherton, and it happens to be the most expensive zip code in the country. $30 million, 1.7 acres, 17,000 square feet. So that's the house. So, what's going on with these headlines saying that they oppose affordable housing in their neighborhood? Every 8 years, the state of California gives updating housing construction goals to the local governments, the towns, the villages, and those local governments are required to hit those stated goals whatever they are, or else they risk losing important funding and they face other penalties as well. So, Atherton, where the Currys live, is required to build 348 additional housing units within that town. So, the town put together this plan to, build these additional housing units to submit to the state. But of course, it's voted on by residents and property owners in the town. And of course, the Currys live in that town. So they wrote an email to the mayor on January 18th opposing, well, I'll read you the actual email to be fair. Mayor Widmer, City Manager Rodericks. As Atherton residents, specifically Selby Lane, we have been following along with the housing element updates with special interest in the 23 Oakwood property. We were pleased when the December meeting concluded with leaving multifamily housing off of private properties and the council recognition that 23 Oakwood does not contribute to the very low or low income numbers required by the state. We hesitate to add the not in our backyard, literally rhetoric, but we wanted to send a note before today's meeting. Safety and privacy for us and our kids continues to be our top priority and one of the biggest reasons we chose Atherton as home. With the density being proposed for 23 Oakwood, there are major concerns in terms of both privacy and safety, with three-story townhomes looming directly behind us. We kindly ask that the town adopts the new housing element without the inclusion of 23 Oakwood. Should that not be sufficient for the state, we ask that the town commits to investing a considerably taller fencing and landscaping to block sight lines onto our family's property. Thank you for your consideration. Thanks and God bless. Stephanie and Ayesha Curry. Based on the email, there's a very specific property, this 23 Oakwood property, which I guess is pretty close to where their home is. And they are most concerned about that property. So it doesn't sound to me like they are opposing overall housing coming to their community. It's just this one property, this 23 Oakwood property, which is a mansion that they would, if this were to go through, would convert to a townhome development, something like this one, and the townhomes would be 3 stories. And I think their major concern is the sight line. If you have a 3-story townhome, you're on the third floor of that townhome, you can look down into their property. And they're celebrity people. They are focused on security and privacy. The other thing I wanted to mention is that this is, again, the most expensive zip code in the country, not just the state of California, in the entire country. In this part of California, the median income is what makes you low housing. It's not an average, it's not based on the national average, it's the median for the area. And so that goes up to $250,000 per household. So you could essentially have two earners, living together, whether they're married in a partnership, what have you, and they each make more than six figures and they can still be considered low income. I wanted to mention that because the whole low income thing is kind of a trigger word. And I see some of the media outlets did use that to kind of, sensationalize the story a little bit. So, since the story broke, the Atherton's City Council did vote in favor of this plan. And so it is going forward unless the state rejects it. So, 348 additional housing units will be built within the next 8 years. The 23 Oakwood property is not exempt. The Currys have a chance to, either deal with it or move somewhere else. They actually owned another home in the same community right before they bought this one. So they sold that one, bought the new one. So, maybe they'll just, move, a few blocks down or what have you. So that's the story, guys. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for tuning in to Own a Spot Live. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.